Hi, it's Mr. Bernay. To make these in-out tables from equations, which will allow you to be able to graph the equations. You'll see that essentially we're just plugging in numbers and solving the equation that way. So let me do a few. This problem gives us some x values and some y values. It's going to be a little bit different depending on if we have x or y values. For this, you'll probably want to use a separate piece of paper because there is a lot of work to be shown. But I'll just do it right on the paper so you'll be able to see it. So, first one, for the in-out tables, it gives us x values and y values because we use this to plot points on a graph. So for the first one, it gives us an x value. So what we do with that x value is we go back to the original equation and we plug in the x value that it gives us for the variable x. So in this case, I always start by rewriting the equation, and instead of an x, I'll have a 10. So it'll be y equals 10 over 5 minus 2. And again, I just got that by taking the 10 that it gives me for x and plugging into the x value in the equation. So now I can just solve that for y. I don't have to use a flowchart. I can just use order of operations to solve it. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. And then 2 minus 2 is 0. So we get y equals 0. So if x equals 10, then y equals 0. Alright? Next one gives us a y value, negative 1. So again, I'm just going to take that y value and plug it in for the y up here. You'll see that this is a little bit different. When you have a y value, you have to use the flow chart. So I took the negative 1, plugged it in for y, so I have negative 1 equals x over 5 minus 2. So now we can't just use the order of operations like we did up here when we had the x value, because we have an x on this side of the equation and we have a number on the other. So what we'll use is our flowchart method. So here we have x as our variable. First thing that happens to x is that it gets divided by 5. And then next, we subtract 2, and out comes a negative 1. Okay, to follow our flowchart steps, we do the opposite now. Instead of subtracting 2, we add 2. Instead of dividing by 5, we multiply by 5. Working backwards, we get negative 1 plus 2 equals 1. 1 times 5 is 5. So our x equals 5. And again, we can go back and check. If we plug in 5 for x, here we get 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Alright, so let me do one of these over here. Let's do this one where it gives us a y value. Or it gives us a y value of 8. Just to reinforce, make sure you have that. So we're going to put the 8 where the y goes. So instead of having a y there, we'll have an 8 equals negative 5x plus 3. Again, I'm going to have to use my flowchart method since I have variable on one side and numbers on the other. So x goes in. Okay, next we add 3 and 8 comes out. Following the flowchart steps, we subtract 3. 8 minus 3 is 5. We divide by negative 5. 5 divided by negative 5. X equals negative 1. When y is 8, x is negative 1. Alright, so go ahead and try the rest on your own.